And same thing with Digital Homicide. They released terrible games. I can't remember the names of any of them.
It doesn't even matter anymore.
No, no, it doesn't. Are they still going to be releasing games? Do you know?
I would be surprised if that man even has a house left.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, but yes, so Jim Sterling won. That's the end of this. That's the last time we're going to talk about this on the Reetin Entertainment Podcast. And we're going to move on to the Nintendo Switch. Yay! Super excited. Everyone's excited. Right? Right, guys?
I mean, I'm hyped for Zelda, but
Yeah.
What I've seen of Breath of the Wild is amazing, but I'm not.
Be a
gonna
little
be
bit
able to-
louder.
Sorry. Is this better?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be able to be excited about the Switch until I can actually get my hands on it, which, as we know, Nintendo is notorious for not being able to stock anything appropriately. So I'm guessing that's going to be a couple months down the road. And
I'm
I just
getting
don't.
mine Friday, I think.
Were you one of the few who can get to the pre-orders in time?
Yep, I think they already charged my bank account for it.
That's exciting. But
Yeah,
yes,
so
I want one. It looks amazing. I just.
yeah, it does look great. I like, and this would be really good for you because you travel from, you have that 2-hour commute.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty
being
much
able to
made
play-
for you.
Yeah, being able to play Breath of the Wild. I know it only has like a 2.5-hour battery life.
That's a half hour more
Uh,
than I need, baby.
Yeah. So, but being able to play Breath of the Wild on that train ride would be really good for you.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Good thing about the Nintendo Switch though, right now it only has not that this isn't good, but right now it only has 32 gigs of onboard storage, which you can expand with a standard SD card, or micro SD card, which is really good because using the proprietary shit for the for the Sony Vita, awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, with the physical carts, you actually don't require a mandatory install. So, other than I'm believing like updates or anything like that, you're not gonna actually have to install anything onto the storage if you buy a physical copy. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I think it's awesome.
Well, I would fucking hope so, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Would be nice if they were similar to the 3DS carts, but
What do you mean?
probably not.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It would be nice if you could play like. I want to have backwards compatibility, but you can't do that with the Switch and the 3DS because of the two screens.
Oh,
What I was
yeah,
getting
no,
at.
that wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't. Sadly, unless they did some weird like positioning of the screens, where it was like
No,
'cause
that
the
it would be
the-
it would
the-
be awful, no matter how they did it.
It would be. I played a DS emulator on my computer, and it was really awkward.
Yeah,
to play.
there are some games that work okay on that, like the Castlevania games and like Scribblenauts, but anything that extensively uses the touchscreen is impossible.
Right. It really is. Unless you have like a Surface, I guess, and then you could actually have a touchscreen.
I guess that
This
could be
is
okay.
going way out of your way to get an emulator working, though.
Yeah.
It is. So now neither of you have the Switch pre-ordered, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
Losers. That's what
I
you
just
are.
bought a
Losers.
guitar. I don't have Switch money right now.
That's true. How much did your guitar cost?
I actually got a pretty good deal on it. It was just
Only
under $250.
$17,000.
No, it was just under $250, but I didn't have
bad.
to go to a store to pick it up. It was delivered to me.
That's
Brand
good.
spanking new, and I like it. It's amazing, and I have string burn on my fingers right now, which is not
That's
so
good.
amazing.
That's good. That's good. It means you're learning, right?
Yeah,
Builds-
I am
builds
better now
character.
than I've ever been before.
Yeah. And another thing, there was another thing about the Nintendo Switch. Ah, there we go. Nintendo Switch won't have a virtual console at launch. The fuck, Nintendo?
Yeah. I
Come on.
I don't even know how what are they doing with that? Like, how do you fuck that up?
I don't know.
Of all the
How-
fucking things.
See, here's what I want, and stick with me if you think this is a good idea. I have some virtual console stuff that I bought for the 3DS, and if I'm getting a Switch, it'd be kind of cool that when they get the service up, are we gonna be able to port everything over, or are you gonna
I
need
doubt it.
Switch exclusive stuff?
I definitely doubt it.
That you couldn't
Um,
move anything from the Wii over, as far as I know. Like as far as virtual console games go, like you could put you could move your Wii stuff like into the Wii mode on the Wii U, but that was it. If you bought a virtual console game that was on the Wii on the 3DS, you just had to play it on your 3DS. Like it didn't go both ways there. It didn't carry over onto the Wii U. Like if you bought a 3DS virtual console game and it was also on Wii U, you could only play it on your 3DS. You had to buy it again on the Wii U if you wanted to. Like,
Yeah, in that case, I'm not
Yeah.
even excited for the virtual console to kick back up.
I think that they have. I think they have said that with future virtual console things, it will go between systems.
have they? Because I haven't. Like, as far as I know, Nintendo's still going no. They. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The article I read said that they were open to the idea, but we'll have to see. Basically.
Oh nope.
Yeah.
So it's not even gonna have the eShop when it launches.
Wait. They're not even gonna have digital anything.
Okay, so it says even the eShop isn't debuting in finished form. Nintendo said that accessing the digital storefront will require a launch day software update that
Oh.
downloads in the background, and it's designed to install quickly. So it doesn't even have it when you buy the console. You have to download the eShop.
So it's like the Wii U where it was basically non-functional out of the box.
Yeah, exactly. Which is retarded.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's retarded. They should know. They should know. They've been in business for fucking over 100 years. They should know how to release something.
Just released an unfinished product. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And it's so weird that they're not having a virtual console. Now, virtual console, I don't know if you guys know this, usually sucks balls compared to like even emulation on a computer. And so if you look at and what I mean is if you look at the like the graphics quality, it's usually a lot darker and the colors don't pop as well as they should on like an actual Nintendo or even on an emulator. So if you guys watch My Life in Gaming, they go over it a lot, and they're like, yeah, the virtual console sucks compared to using an RGB mod on a regular Nintendo or even using an emulator.
Yeah, I did not.
So,
I've honestly, the only time I've ever experienced anything with the virtual console was the free game. Oh no, I got 2 games that were like 10 cents during a promotion, and then
Ooh.
Katie got a Founders Edition 3DS. So
so you got the
all those
20 games, I think it was.
yeah, something like that. That like Wario Land 4 was part of that, and like
And
that was
Super
the only one I played.
Metroid, I think. Yeah.
I
Super
don't know.
Metroid. You got a lot. There were a lot of games included in that, so that was pretty neat, actually.
Yeah.
One good thing about it, and we're switching to another story, is Fast RMX, which is a game they showed off during the Nintendo conference, which is a racing game, basically. It's like F-Zero, but it's not F-Zero. They've released a price for it, and the price point seems to be $20, which is what I would say that it would cost.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. It says that while they sacrifice such things as resolution in order to make Fast Racing Neo run at 60 frames per second in 720p, they were able to make Fast RMX run at 1080p, 60 frames a second, even in 4-player split screen. So everything it's going to run at 1080p, 60 frames a second on this game, which is, I mean, it's a racing game. So usually those games are the ones that do run that fast. But it's nice to know that they were able to, keep it so that, they don't have to go down to 900p like so many Xbox One titles have to go.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Connor? Do you want fast racing RMX?
I don't necessarily care for the racing game, but I am happy to hear that the hardware can handle these constraints as well as it can.
Yeah, and of course, if you go down and you unplug it from the dock, it'll probably run at 720p.
Right, of course.
It will.
we're
Wait,
prepared
wait, wait.
for that.
It will run at 720p because the screen is 720p.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm hesitantly excited for the Switch. I know a lot of people are kind of shitting on it right now, but I'm looking forward to it, and I should have some impressions of it hopefully next week for the podcast. Because I will be getting that and I believe 5 games.
You
So
should
I'll be
just
getting
send all of that my way, and I'll do a review for you.
No.
All right, you
No.
you go ahead and think about it. I'll be waiting.
Yes, I will think about it right as we talk about 343 Industries and Halo. So what was the biggest problem with the new Halo that was released, guys?
Halo 5.
Yeah.
I believe that would be that it was microtransaction trash.
Actually, you're wrong. So, what about you, Aroa? What's your guess?
I mean, it didn't really do all that much to change the formula.
Well, that is part of it. But also, they didn't have split screen. You guys suck at this, even though you have the story literally right in front of you.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna, play it up.
No.
Yeah, I was getting that ham on, man.
So, split screen was taken away from Halo 5 because apparently it does take a lot more horsepower to run two, individual screens.
Well, yeah, you're rendering 4 different fucking things at the same. What are they called? Viewports at the same time.
Yeah. So it's pretty demanding, and if you notice with Halo 3, Halo 4, when they did split screen, it actually cut the aspect ratio down, and so it gave you less of a screen to work with, even less than what you would normally get off a split screen. So what they've decided though is that because they took it out, people were really, really not happy with them, because one of the good things about Halo was always that, if you had a friend over, you could say, hey, let's co-op this game tonight. And so you guys would just run through the game and co-op it. However, with Halo 5, you didn't have that option. You had to play online or had to play over a network, but you couldn't do split screen. So they're bringing it back for Halo 6, which is, I think, a positive.
I mean,
What are your guys' thoughts?
it's cool. I mean, whatever.
Some of my fondest video game memories were couch co-op sitting together. Beating Halo 1 was something like that was the last game that my the brother I'm closest with and I played together. It's
Yeah.
like the goal of let's beat this together. That's always gonna have a special place in my heart.
Yeah. I always liked Halo 1, all right, you run in and die, you're low on ammo. Yeah,
I'll
that
sit
was...
back, take them all out.
Yeah, that was great times. Great times playing Halo. It released 16 years ago, I think.
Yeah, think about that for a while.
Jeebus. I am old. I really liked Halo. I honestly thought Halo 5 was pretty good. I think that overall it's a pretty strong game in the Xbox library, and I would play it again if Aroa ever played the game, but he never does.
No, I don't even have Xbox Live anymore. I let it expire.
Yeah, after I bought it for you.
Yeah, we played like twice.
Yeah, that's so. This should be clear that the reason that I bought it for you was that I wanted to play Rock Band online.
Yeah, and then it didn't have online.
Does it have online now?
Yeah, you have to buy the expansion pack.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, it's like $30.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Seriously? That's bullshit.
Yep, I yelled at them on Twitter because I was like, if you guys were going to add in online through an expansion pack, maybe should have waited for the PC Kickstarter to maybe should have waited. until you had that out before you launched the PC Kickstarter that wasn't going to have online.
Yeah, that is some bullshit that they because online should have been in there in the beginning.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the fact that they don't have it on there, it was very upsetting because I wanted to play online with Aurora.
Yeah.
But now they are requiring you to pay $30 more. Does it come with games, or is it just or like songs, or is it just online?
It comes with like a whole other game mode and stuff. Like it isn't just the online play.
Okay.
It's they're doing like Elite Dangerous, where you like with Elite Dangerous you bought Horizons, and that basically
Right.
gave you season 2 of Elite Dangerous. That's kind of what they're doing with Rock Band. You buy Rock Band Rivals, and you get like this story mode thing, and you get online play, and I think it adds practice mode and some other stuff, which I mean,
Yeah.
fine, but really, guys, online play had to put that behind a paywall. Like,
Yeah, that pisses me off. I think because right now I don't have any room in my room or in the living room or anything to set up my Rock Band stuff. So I think if I do end up moving in a couple months, then I will have in my computer room, I'll have the Rock Band stuff set up actually, so I could actually play Rock Band every once in a while. Though I'm not very good at the drums. Never even was very good at them. Are you good at the drums, Aurora?
I can play expert on every instrument.
Nice. Now you just need to put that much dedication into something that actually, pertains to real life.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, in my heyday, I was probably in like the top 5%, like in the world.
You should have done competitions.
I was going to one time, and then I didn't do it.
Why not?
I got nervous.
You fucking loser. I have a friend like that. I won't say his name, but we've had discussions where I'm like, dude, why don't you? He doesn't even have a GED.
Oh,
He's
God.
a smart guy. Like, he's a smart guy, but for some reason, like, every time he goes to get his GED, like, he panics and just leaves.
Well, that's just retarded.
Yeah, and then, same thing with high school. He was he had to make up a couple credits, but it was feasible that he could have graduated, and he just bailed. Like, it's like he has some anxiety about like continuing on with his life, and so you're that guy, Aroa.
No, not quite that bad. I mean, I got a certification, and I just went in and went, "Hey, I'm here for the certification," and then I took the test and left and passed. So,
Good job.
yeah.
I had another friend who went to go get the A+ certification, which I haven't got an A+ yet. I should at some point in my life, but it's like $300. Fuck. So he went in, he took the exam, $699 was what he got.
I don't remember what I got.
Yeah, he needed 700 to pass.
Oh, well, I got more than that, obviously.
Yeah, so
That sucks balls.
he was just like, I'm looking at this and I'm just super pissed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that 1 point. All right, so we're gonna talk about something really, actually important. If you are on a site, or if you are logged into a site that uses Cloudflare, you should probably reset your passwords, because Cloudflare has something called Cloud Bleed, which is a memory leak caused by a parser bug. Have you heard about this, Aroa or Connor?
Yeah.
So was that a yes from Aroa?
Yeah, I read about it earlier this week.
Okay, so can you go into a little bit more detail about what this was? I've read into it, but I want you to go over it, so it's not just me talking.
Well, basically, Cloudflare is one of the single largest services just sneezed. One of the single largest
Bless you.
services on the internet. The way that I understand that their business works is one, they have a CDN, which basically means that their like websites oftentimes won't host their own images. They'll host them on CDNs, which are constant content distribution networks. So they're just other companies that kind of just act as big boxes basically for storage. Amazon's cloud service is a CDN, for example.
Amazon Web Services.
Or Amazon Web Services. But Cloudflare also has had this service that kind of gave them their name, which is like a DDoS protection and stuff like that, where they basically intercept all of your communications between the website and you, and just make sure that you're not being malicious. And apparently some part of whatever the hell they have set up ended up fucking up, and they found that there was like one thing that was supposed to be an equal sign, but instead it was a greater than sign, and that caused a memory leak problem. And this memory leak problem, when accompanied with a not necessarily poorly written website, but just like a website written incorrectly, will allow for buffer overflow to then just kind of dump whatever the Cloudflare server has in memory into plain text on the web page.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That's a disaster.
Yeah, so basically, like, everything that was communication between, like, users and websites was just kind of getting dumped out into plain text, into pages that, like, even Google could index and shit like that. And this is stuff from everything from username and passwords and email addresses to, in some cases, entire chunks of like communication, including like really sensitive data. And because of the nature of it, it was including like SSL encrypted stuff.
Ooh, sounds good.
Because basically your SSL communication wasn't between you and the website, it was between you and Cloudflare, which would then kind of forward the data onto the actual web server. So Cloudflare was still intercepting your data as it was going, and so that too got dumped out. So like there are probably people, worst case would be like social security numbers getting leaked out, but
yeah. From what I read though, it was only like 150 websites were.
Yeah, Cloudflare was very responded, whatever. They responded. Yeah, responsive. They responded really quickly to this, and I think they got it locked down within like 45 minutes of the vulnerability coming out.
Yeah.
So, and even then, we have that other article that says that it probably only affected maybe like 1,500 websites, like individually.
Yeah, I've looked at the list. Reetin Entertainment is not on the list.
Yeah, because
good.
it was like a lot of really old WordPress sites that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah, I think if you had an updated WordPress site, it didn't have much of an effect. Though there were some sites that were affected that are pretty big, like Patreon.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Let me see. Do you have any comments on this, Connor? I mean, you're a programmer, so
That's a disaster. I don't know. Other than that, like, okay, what was the service? CDW, is that like branded and hosted, or is that freeware kind of thing?
CD.
What did I say? Yeah, is that open source, or what's the deets on that?
So Cloudflare is a service that you can use for free. That will basically, it's supposed to make it so that your site is less vulnerable than it would normally be. So if somebody tries attacking you with a DDoS,
right,
they
I got
won't
the
be able
gist
to
of
do
that. I don't
Yeah.
need you to explain that part again, just because we're being recorded on that. But is this something that's going to be covered in their terms of use? You know, like user beware or something like that, or how screwed are they on this?
Well, they already fixed it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the issue. It's an easy enough issue to fix if it's a greater sign to an equal sign. But I mean, if there's any lost data that could be compromising, that's going to be terrible.
Oh, I
This
see.
could
You're
be,
saying like what's the backlash going to be on Cloudflare for this?
what's the repercussion here? We're in we're in the days of we're treading lightly with how we handle data distribution right now, specifically
Yeah.
with things like encryption and sensitive data. So putting these together to see disasters happen like this might have a negative impact on laws and regulations that end up happening in the near future.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm just trying to see what websites were affected. I don't think there's going to be much of a backlash on Cloudflare because unlike other companies, they responded really quickly and told everyone what was going on. So, like with Sony years ago, if you remember when they had the I forget what we were calling it at the time, but they had their hack.
Mm-hmm.
They responded really awfully on that because it took them like a week before they even admitted that there was something wrong, and then they shut down the service for 3 weeks. Like, they did a bad job of handling it. With Cloudflare, it looks like it was an easy enough thing to fix, and then they came out right away and was like, "Hey guys, reset your passwords. We've detected that only these ones were detected, but I think that they'll be pretty good. I don't think anyone's gonna like stop using Cloudflare because of this. They might. It's possible that they might switch to a different one, but I don't think the repercussions are going to be super terrible. What about you, Aro? What do you think about that?
I'm kind of. I don't think anybody's gonna like stop using Cloudflare because of this. Because, like, at the end of the day, this still could have been a lot worse. I think because it could have not been found out within, a reasonable amount of time. It could have not been stopped within an hour. We've seen so many situations in the past where someone comes out and goes, "We found out that like 3 years ago, there was this big hack and all of our users' data was compromised." Like we've seen stuff like the Sony hack where they had to hand out identity theft protection to people.
$1 million identity theft protection and free games.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think if anything this is just more indication to people to get their shit locked down. Because even if it's just your username and password getting leaked, as long as the site has two-factor authentication, which if they're using Cloudflare, they probably do, or at least they're more likely to, then you're going to be fine because they're not leaking, the TOTP key. They're just leaking your password. So, yeah, you can change your password because in the off chance that, well, not even in the off chance, in the situation that you're an idiot and you use the same password for everything, you guys don't do that, do you?
Nope.
No, of course I wouldn't do that.
Neither.
Why would I use the same password for everything?
I don't know, but I personally have logged into your Facebook like 4 or 5 times now. So,
dude, what's my password, huh?
It's Connor So Dreamy 123.
God damn it, you knew it.
But yeah, as long as you don't use the same password for everything, or you have two-factor authentication set up on everything you can, I mean, you're not even going to be in that much trouble.
Yeah, two-factor authentication is the way to go. Or like Beam has a weird thing where you can use an authenticator to log into Beam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a security token type thing you put on your phone.
Oh, that's cool.
So
it's like Blizzard.
So you can have. So does Blizzard. So does Square Enix has one for Final Fantasy. Actually, Final Fantasy's was really good.
I feel like a lot of MMOs have that.
So Final Fantasy 11 had it wasn't a problem, but there was a storage space issue on your characters. So you can only have so many slots to hold items. and if you had a security token, they would give you an extra bag that basically doubled the amount of space you had. So getting the security token was actually a very good idea in that game because you got more space and you got two-factor authentication. So anyway, yeah, change your passwords, guys, on anywhere that uses Cloudflare. So if you guys log into reetinentertainment.com, oh,
They don't really need to log in. They just need to go to the website. That's your problem. You've been marketing it wrong this whole time.
well, no, I meant you guys.
Oh,
You guys have you guys have accounts on
I-
reetinentertainment.com.
I've been on there a couple times.
Yeah, I could just change your password too.
You could.
So.
You have any idea what hashing algorithm WordPress uses? Because I feel like I remember it being... I think it's MD5 by default. And most people, like... I think it goes to SHA-1 for most people.
SHA-1?
I think so. Because I was going to bring up that coincidentally at the same time this week, and we don't have an article for it, but I thought it'd be appropriate. You guys know that SHA-1 is completely obliterated now, right?
Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah, SHA-1.
Yeah. The Google, some Google researcher, group of researchers finally put out a thing that was like, hey, we made some software that can basically modify a file to the point that it's pretty much the same thing, but it matches the SHA-1 hash of another file. So it's the SHA-1 collision attack, like worst case scenario. So basically anything that uses SHA-1 for hashing is no longer safe.
Oh, that's lovely.
Which it's not a whole lot anymore. The problem is that it's the few things that it still affects. Whenever it's not ancient websites that no one gives a shit about, it's stuff like healthcare or like big companies that have a lot of data. Like the place I used to work at used SHA-1 for some of its stuff. But the company I used to work at also, for one of their systems, used MD5 for their passwords. So, you know.
Lovely.
At least they're not being stored in a plain text somewhere.
Yep, they just store them in a plain text file, unencrypted.
I've inherited systems similar to that.
Yeah, I used to. I mean, there's different ways to store the system, store passwords. At the very least, if you're gonna store passwords for like emails or user emails or something like that, the very least, at least like make it a password protected Excel sheet or something.
Don't do that.
That's what I was saying. At the very least.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, if you want to keep,
keep separated as comma separated values once they're unencrypted, and that's almost too convenient.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say Excel sheets. You can get past the password protection on those in a few seconds.
Yeah. Also use if you are gonna do stuff like that, use what is it, BitLocker?
Oh yeah.
So everything's encrypted. So if they do get it, they're not gonna be able to get stuff.
BitLocker is legit. That will keep out other private parties. It probably won't keep the government out because it's a product made by Microsoft.
And they have a key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do somewhere.
As a professional tech expert, I would just like to suggest the hammer method, which is if ever you feel your data is compromised, just pull out your hard drive and apply the hammer to it. Yeah,
that's the method Jared should have used, actually.
I call that Thor protection.
Yeah. Nobody, you guys didn't get my reference, but that's okay.
Yes, Jared from Subway. It's David.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what he did.
No, that's what he should have done.
Oh yeah, I should have.
Because the whole sex with children thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And on that note, that's our podcast for the week. Thank you guys for being here.
Well, it was something.
Yeah, yeah. And I will talk to you guys next week, and I'll have some information on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it'll be
that'll
fun.
be cool.
Yeah. All right, talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh yeah, by the way, before we leave, I should probably say that you should go. We're on iTunes.
Oh
And
yeah, hawking. Forgot.
Yeah, forgot to hawk ourselves. So we're on iTunes and Google Play, and you can find the links below in the description if you want to click on that and then press the subscribe button. Follow me on beam.pro/Reetin, YouTube, youtube.com/Reetin. Buy stuff from my Green Man Gaming link down below. I'm not super affiliated with them anymore because I'm not doing the streams for them, but you can still click on that, buy with that link, and I get a little bit of money. Twitter is twitter.com/Reetin. Twitch is twitch.com/Reetin. Aroa, you can find him where? Where can we find you, Aroa?
Twitter at Aroa, Facebook at Aroa Entertainment, Twitch at Aroa1337, YouTube Aroa1337, and my music blog is satanoscillate.tumblr.com.
And what about you, Connor? Where can we find you?
I can be found on thetwitter.com as cyberpunk_monk. I can be found on that's about it. I don't want to give you like my game accounts or anything. Go away.
Yeah, because you don't do anything on YouTube anymore. You did like one video of Shadowrun, or not Shadowrun. What was that other game?
Pathfinder.
Well, you
Yeah,
did.
I streamed Pathfinder a couple times and nobody turned in, so I was like, all right.
Yeah. Well, I meant on YouTube. You did the Super Mario,
Yeah, don't remind me.
and you're really bad at that game. You did that Chernobyl, something Chernobyl.
Oh, I was doing Stalker for a while. Those
Stalker.
Shadow of Chernobyl.
The problem was when I was playing that game was the computer could not actually handle that game running in the recording equipment at the same time. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just like, whatever, I'll get frame drops whenever I look down the scope. That'll be fun to watch. And as I was editing it, I was realizing, wow, this is awful. I would say unplayable. In fact, I think that'll about a lot of the Let's Plays. I don't have them I don't have any more listed on YouTube. If you got the link, you can still find it. They're cringy and awful, and it's that kind of material that I don't want to be spreading on YouTube.
That makes sense.
It's bad.
But yeah, you should get back into streaming coding or something. But I thank you guys for being here, and this is actually going to be the end. I'll talk to one or both of you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, that was good.
Sorry
that was
to
a
end
pleasure.
on a downer.
Yeah, well, you suck.
I wasn't even listening.
I'm sure nobody else will be either. It's okay.
Hey, sometimes we get people listening. I had 4 downloads this week. 4.
Oh baby.
Now I just need to multiply that by like 10,000, and then I'll be able to make money off of it.
Let me check my SoundCloud because
I'm not posting on SoundCloud anymore though.
Yeah, I know. Let me check my SoundCloud though.
Okay.
It's the last thing. Yeah, the last thing I posted.
Woo! I made $2.45 this month on YouTube.
Oh hell. The last thing I posted on SoundCloud got 6 downloads.
Why were you live on?
I'm still live.
Oh, really? On Beam?
And everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I streamed the podcast again.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was just confused.
Did you think I was still streaming from last night and I forgot?
Maybe.
And now there's audio of me jerking off on the internet. Oni-chan!
Connor.
Whoa.
Actually, my password for Origin used to be Connor123 or something like that.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's how I know all of your passwords. It's still that, right?
No. Sorry. The reason I put that was because I was letting Connor log into my Origin for some reason.
You were letting me try Titanfall before I bought the first one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I might actually play Titanfall 2. Or I could go get me some food because I've had popcorn for breakfast. And that was a long time ago.
Popcorn, popcorn.
That sounds good, I think.
I came downstairs and there was a big ass movie theater popcorn, and I was like, yes, I will take that. Thank you muchly.
Thank you muchly.
Thank you muchly.
I've got $56 in YouTube revenue. I still can't get it.
All right.
Why?
I'm not paying attention. What?
I have $56 in YouTube revenue that I can't get because it's not 100 yet.
Yeah, see, I have a shitty partnership thing, so they just send me money every month.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that you were on an MCN of some kind.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad one, but I can't, like, I want, if I had 10,000 viewers or followers, I would go for Curse, which is a good network actually, from everything I read.
Yeah.
But I don't qualify for that, so I had to go with a shitty one that will take anyone.
Yeah, and I did that for a little while, but I stopped trusting them. So
I don't trust them, but they paid me every month, so
yeah,
fuck
I mean
it.
that's something.
Yeah. They don't seem terrible. I don't know anyone else who's on the MCM, but I'm sure there are a lot.
Who are they?
Freedom.
Oh yeah, no, I remember you showing me them though.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're good, but I mean, I'm getting a couple dollars a month on them at least, so
Yeah.
it's something. I have actually like $10 in my my PayPal account because of them. So
We launched a new live stream.
so you make more money than I do per view or whatever.
Do I?
Yeah, because I have to take a hit because the MCM gets part of it.
Oh yeah, start at 60% of YouTube's 100%. Grow
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. So it's a compromise. Like, do you actually? Because either way, I'm not gonna get a ton of money. So
Yeah.
I either get money every month, or I get, to wait until it's at $100. And at the rate that I'm going, let's say $3 a month, am I really going to be getting to, like, how many months is that going to take me to get to $100 to cash out?
Yeah.
So whatever.
I think you just need to
Be better.
get breasts.
That have either of you met my my friend Icky?
No.
I don't
So-
like that it sounds like you're Googling something frantically, though.
Podcast 93 is what I'm typing in. So my friend Icky is
Hey guys, it's John, and welcome
pretty
back
cute-
to
British girl or whatnot.
because enhanced handgun ammo.
And she was
That's how you
getting
beat
like
Marguerite.
she did
Gunpowder.
Twitch for a little while, and she was getting like
Let's
70 people a day following her
Oh, I know.
at some point. And I'm like, I don't get it.
running straight down.
Like,
the
I'm
middle.
talking to her and I'm like, it's
Is to be honest,
I
it's
can
fine.
play for hours upon hours and no one will come in. You play for like 3 hours and you get like 50 followers. And she's like, yeah, it's just because I'm playing this particular game. She's like, it's just because I'm playing Battlefield. I'm like, no. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be sexist, but it's because you're a cute girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And like, she's really nice and like we get along and we talk occasionally on Twitter. But that's the only reason she was getting people in, was because she is an attractive female. So it's way easier for females to get followers than it is for somebody like us, who's, then again, we're 90% of the market is fat nerds.
Mhm.
So it's hard to stand out from the other fat nerds.
Yeah, that's why I try to make my gimmick more of like being really hands off, and not being just the typical like playing games and being really loud the whole time. Like I actually got a couple of followers out of the ad campaign I did. And
Oh, yeah?
one of them commented, it was like, I actually stuck around just because your voice doesn't make me want to rip my ears out.
Well, okay, so we talked about you last week in the podcast, Parallax Abstraction and I did.
Yeah.
And I told him, I want you to do more of your Undertale Let's Play.
Yeah.
Like, have you watched that, Connor?
When I saw it when it was first coming out. I didn't end up watching like the last one that you did. I enjoyed the voices thoroughly.
Yeah, like I like how you're able to do the voices and make them see, like, every voice is, like, different.
Especially
And-
like Undertale, it needs something like that.
Yeah, like, it's, I hate to give you compliments, but it's really good.
I actually was like,
Fuck you.
I was like barely above satisfied with how I did, but I was like, it at the end of the day, I at least do feel confident that I'm better than most other Let's Players that do voices in their Let's Plays,
Yeah.
where most of them
Like-
are like, it's just like they would do, I don't know. It's like listening to a bad audiobook whenever it's stuff like that.
You know what you could do is release audiobooks.
If I thought I would dedicate myself to it enough, I thought about it a few times because Audible just lets you produce audiobooks.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to find books to do, like 1984. Do that. That seems to be
Your
a
Communist
that seems to be a
Manifesto.
good. Yes. Or Mein Kampf in the pure German, of course.
Oh, right.
I just want to hear you like yell in German for some reason.
It actually sounds really awesome. I'm not going to lie. I've done that.
Sure. Oh yeah.
I have read, well, actually what I did was I found some of Hitler's speeches translated to English.
Yeah.
And then I just did my best Hitler impression. And like I was actually like, man, if I like heard that in a movie, I would be like legit impressed. Like I was actually really happy with how it sounded. But I was like, I can't possibly post this anywhere because it would be horrifying.
So, well, you could at least get people from the alt-right.
I don't want those to follow me.
Little
That-
did you know, Steve